VIPKid Teacher Lori was kind enough to tag me as a fellow YouTube teacher to answer some online ESL teacher questions. So here are my answers. I was born and raised in California, but I feel I am equally from both the San Francisco Bay Area and San Diego. I was raised in the Bay Area, but I went to school in San Diego, and then I ended up living there almost as long as I lived up in the Bay Area. But I am now in the Dallas Metroplex, and even though I probably will never be considered a native Texan, my children will. I've been with VIPKid for a little over a year and a half. I am on my 4th contract. No, I was actually very scared. I thought VIPKid made a mistake in hiring me. I thought I was over my head. So I actually spent the first month going to workshops, all of the workshops, multiple times by different instructors, just in case there was new information I could glean off of a different point of view. And so it wasn't until my 2nd month that I started to open my slots, and after I did the Jumpstart program that VIPKid offered, I got my first class, and then I was fully booked for 2 weeks, and it was awesome. And then it all just dropped off, and I think this is probably due to an LP had recommended me, and then it was just up to my own merit to be able to get those students coming back as regulars. But it really took me about 5 months to get fully booked. I work from 5 to 9, Monday through Saturday, although when school is in session, I do take an hour break off right in the middle there in order to get my kids up and out and off to school. But during the summer, it's a solid block from 5 to 9. Now, last year during daylight savings, I tried to maintain my availability, so I went up to 4 o'clock in the morning. That only lasted about a week. And then I noticed that 4 o'clock slot just wasn't booking much at all, so I just decided just to drop that off entirely. So during daylight savings, it was 4:30 to 8 was my schedule. So it'll be interesting to see what will happen with the regulations and the daylight savings this year, so we'll see. To be continued. It depends on the day. I was on Team Pink for the Paint Bucket Challenge, so we wore pink on Wednesdays, and even though the Paint Bucket Challenge is over, I still enjoy wearing pink on Wednesdays, so I'm wearing pink. And on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm usually straight out the door as soon as I finish my last feedback to go to the gym. So I'm usually in yoga pants and some VIPKid shirt during class, but above all, I always want to be comfy and most likely, hopefully, having pockets. No, I am not a brick and mortar teacher, hence my panic when I first got hired. Lydia, also known as Learning Craft, she was my mentor with the VIPKid Teacher Facebook page, and I always make it a point to watch whatever it is that she comes out with, because she comes up with some great content. But I love to see how everyone comes up with their own spin on something that we all share. And you guys think of some things that I never would have thought of before. And I think it is so good for us to be able to just learn from one another and make each other better teachers. Can I be Team Everyone? At first, I was Team Dino a few times over, and then I got Meg at a teacher meetup, and then I got Mike with some tokens. I have made several hats for my dinos because my mind always seems to go, if it doesn't exist, how can we make it happen? So I made my pig dino hat first before the pig dinos came out, and I absolutely love it. And then I made a unicorn dino hat because who doesn't want a unicorn dino? Now, I would love to get Dino's sister, so fingers crossed, maybe someday, please. I needed to be able to bring in some money and still be able to stay home with my kiddos, so I figured this would be the best option for me. My microphone. Those warm-up songs are not going to sing themselves. But I would say that my most useful prop would be my whiteboard. The two attributes that you really need to have and develop within yourself is patience and grace. Be patient with yourself. Avoid getting dragged into negativity. Find positive and encouraging people to come alongside you as you make your way on this VIPKid journey. And give yourself, your students, and your fellow teachers grace. We don't know where people are coming from, what life they have been living in that moment, that day. And so it's always best to approach everyone with kindness and grace. Go to workshops, go to meetups, find a mentor, find those friends that you can have come alongside you on this VIPKid journey. I was so blessed to be able to have Teacher Lydia as my mentor so early on in this journey, and she has been a fantastic source of information, encouragement, and I absolutely love to just brainstorm and collaborate with her. I am so blessed that we have been able to form this friendship through this mentorship. It's been really a wonderful thing for both of us. And then you need your fellow teachers who are at the same stage as you are. Not to necessarily compare how you're doing to how they're doing, but just so that you guys can encourage each other and help each other celebrate all those milestones together. I had teacher Nancy as my fellow side-by-side teacher, and I met her at Journey in Dallas, and come to find out that she was hired just a couple weeks before I was, and it has been so nice just to be able to be friends with her on Facebook and be able to encourage one another as we meet these milestones and earn all of these badges and things, and just being able to be there for one another. And she is one of my best supporters. She comes to all of my meetups, no matter how far it is for her to drive, because some of my meetups have been kind of far. Give yourself time to recharge, especially as an introvert teacher. This is the most important thing. Getting caught up in how much you can make and meeting incentives and meeting personal goals can push you outside of your comfort zone, but you aren't giving your best when you are completely stretched thin and depleted. You need to take care of yourself. I wake up at 4. I don't need a million alarms. I'm not that person. So just one alarm and I'm up and I start getting ready. I do my face and brush my teeth and I check my hair. If I need to, I'll just put up in a ponytail or I'll refresh my curls. Then I go get the morning beverages made. I make coffees for my husband and I and chocolate milks for my kiddos, and sometimes I'll make lunch for my husband in case he leaves while I'm teaching. Then I go get my classroom set up because I teach in an office that is shared with 3 other adults. I always have to take down my classroom after I'm done teaching and then put it back up. So it only takes a couple of minutes, but I put everything back up, I turn on the computer, make sure everything is running, and I usually get a head start on my feedback with Feedback Panda. Yay, Feedback Panda! And that really helps so that I can get through and just spend a couple of minutes after each class in order to finish up that feedback. Then if I have any time remaining, I just drink my coffee, go through social media, and wait till my first class starts. For level 2, it's a tie toss-up between feelings and colors. For level 3, I think it's the 5 senses, and level 4, it's the hobbies. And I'm still pretty new to level 5, and I only have one level 5 regular, so any class with him is definitely a favorite. I think it's the butter on the nose, just because I had never heard of that until I was a VIPKid teacher, and it's supposed to be something that Americans do, and I had no clue. So trying to convince them that this is not really what all Americans do. I did notice that they changed the wording on the slides the last time I taught it, so that is definitely helpful, but I still feel really funny teaching that lesson. Oh, that's so hard. But if I had to choose one, it would have to be the kids. My regulars, they make my day. I don't mind waking up early, and I have to agree, I like the feeling of having the rest of my day to do things after being so productive up until 9 o'clock in the morning. But I do have to admit, I hit a figurative wall about 3 o'clock where my brain just does not function as well as it did earlier on in the day. And I let my family know, please do not ask me any difficult questions needing specific answers after 3 o'clock. So if I have not figured out what dinner is going to be, haven't planned it out, haven't got it all set up, we're gonna have to go for takeout because I just can't think and function on a certain level after that. So that, along with other things that happen in the evenings, like rehearsals with a chorus I would really like to sing with. Hashtag Rich Toast Chorus. Someday I'll get to sing with you, I promise. I actually have said a lot of different things in Chinese because for my upper level students I use an app that's called Decision Roulette, and I have filled in a bunch of different options, but one of them is for them to teach me how to say things in Chinese, and I do okay, at least that's what they tell me. And I have repeated a number of different things in Chinese, but as soon as I have said them, they are gone. I have zero retention. I couldn't tell you what they told me today. I don't. No, but I would love to, though, and I think it's funny, before VIPKid I never considered traveling to China, but now after teaching, and I would love to go to meet my students and get to spend time with them and seeing the Great Wall and all of that. And I even had, just the other day, I had a student say, when are you coming to Beijing? And I said, I'm not sure when, but hopefully someday, Annie. And see. Thanks again, Teacher Lori, for tagging me and giving me an opportunity to do this questions and answers. It was a lot of fun. And if there are any questions that you felt wasn't asked, please put them in the comments and I would be happy to see if I can answer them to the best of my ability. That's it for me. This is Cindy signing off. May you question boldly, may you find your best teaching self, and may your dino collection increase exponentially.